So Young Sons came out with a update a few days ago, and I don't know, I might try a stream of it tomorrow. Who knows, it might just be the same broken slap as before, so if I don't find anything with like in the first 30 minutes of that, I'm probably just gonna close the stream. Well, not this stream, the future stream. And we'll just wait till more meaningful updates drop, but it seems legit. It's just funny that no one's really talking about it. The game just sucks that bad. Oh, I could probably take the top message off. Or beyond that. The Neela sweep, yeah. I'm more excited for Monday, though. I mean, just there's only so much you can do in the 19th century on a boat, so I feel like it's just been dragging a bit. I mean, I enjoyed my time with it, but I feel like it's dragging now. I mean, we are on the last week, so we're toughing it out. I have to throw up another vote. I'll probably do that tonight. We'll throw up a vote of who we go for next. This is my neck acting up. I was doing just fine for most of the day. Anyways, it's probably time to start the stream. Start the game, I mean. I didn't hook it up yet, so now I have to hook it up. I have to spend like a minute or two capturing it. Oh, looks about right. Imagine if I was Doctor Who, I would be traveling to that timeline and tell them I am like the master, the Doctor's rival. Okay. Alright, we're not starting. We're loading. So this is... What day is this? What day am I on? Saturday? Saturday. So we're not even on week 3. It's too early. Max is still in her bunk, curled up tight with her arms around her blanket, face barely visible under a messy curtain of hair. She looks peaceful, small. I rub my face, pull on my boots, and decide I need to walk. Cabin's too quiet. Cabin's too everything lately. Verd is standing near one of the support pillars, cigarette balanced between his lips. I nod to him casually. What are you doing up this early? He exhales a thin stream of smoke. eyes following it as it drifts towards the low ceiling. It's my day off. The rain picks up a little, pattering louder now against the metal above us, then fades again like it's changed its mind. What do you usually do for fun on your day off? He doesn't answer right away, just takes another drag, then finally tilts his head enough to speak without looking at me. Mostly, avoid idiots. The words land with the softness of a brick. He doesn't elaborate, just flicks the ash into a half-crushed tin on the table beside him, and goes back to his smoke, like I'd never asked anything at all. The silence lingers a bit too long after that. The heavy boots clamp down on the steps from the upper deck, breaking the stillness. A loud voice follows a second later, echoing off the low ceiling. Uh-oh. Says twin brother. Literal palette swap. Vert. There's only Navy biscuits left unless you want to dig through the tins again. Bert huffs through his nose, the closest thing to a laugh or a groan, hard to tell. Fine by me. Who is your friend? He is Anon, remember? The captain told us about him. The guy with a fake name who couldn't make up a better name. Ouch. Pleased to meet you, Anon. Name is Orange. Oh, I get it. Orange, and then Vert for green. Ha, 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 ha. Pleased to meet you as well. So what are you doing here so early? Couldn't sleep. Rain'll do that. Sounds nice, but messes with your head after a while. He pulls a biscuit tin out with one hand, opens it, and shakes it. The hollow sound it makes tells a whole story. Well, I guess it's one of those mornings. Bert doesn't even glance over, just finishes the last of his cigarette and presses it out on the metal rim of the ash tin. Motion smooth and practiced. The orange dragon throws the used cigarette into the biscuit tin with a gentle clink, then strokes his hair, his eyes narrowing as if the biscuit tin had just offended him. I can't eat this blasphemy of rations another day. Though not loud, the words are piercing, spoken with the composed finality of someone who has already accepted his pain and only wishes for everyone to know that he's going through it with honor. Orange pauses mid-rummage, his shoulders slump a little, and he sets the tin down with more care than necessary. He doesn't say anything for a beat, then exhales softly. I miss Mom's food. A tiny sentimental smile tugs at Orange's cheeks as he leans back against the wall with his arms crossed carelessly and his gaze straying to the floor. She used to make this onion soup loaded with cheese, the real thick kind that'd string off the spoon forever. You couldn't escape the smell for hours. I loved it. Soup sounds good right now. Bert always pretended he didn't like it, but I caught him going back for thirds more than once. Bert shifts slightly, arms still crossed, his expression unreadable. I only liked it on cold days. He glances sideways finally. She'd make it even during summer, no windows open, heat like a furnace. Thought she was trying to kill us. Yeah, but damn if it didn't taste good. Well, if biscuits are off the table, and I've got nothing better to do, what do you say we go fishing? Seems like a win-win. Orange raises an eyebrow, curious. Fishing? I nod. Yeah, get out for a bit, see if we can catch something better than dried bricks. Bert doesn't say a word, doesn't make a face, he just turns around without a sound and walks straight out of the room. I blink, unsure if that was a rejection or just Vert being Vert. Orange watches him go, then smirks and pats me on the shoulder. Give it a minute. 3 fishing rods. Held on by his tail. Not long after, Vert returns, stepping back into the common area without a word. In his hands, 3 rods, nothing fancy, just long, weathered sticks, each with a length of line tied at the end and a simple hook knotted into place. Just like chefs, rough and practical. Bert hands one to Orange, then holds another out towards me without looking up. We better catch something before I try to eat coal from the engines. He turns without waiting for a response and heads for the door. That's the spirit. We both follow him out into the corridor, footsteps echoing faintly. The further we go, the more the scent of salt and damp air starts to seep in. Just hard cut. Hard cut to the boat. Bert stops by the rail, scanning the water, and mutters something under his breath. Yeah, I told you I'd show up. Creator for the game, for those who don't know. I hate that we ran out of time for making more sprites for the twins. Oof. That's gotta suck. I'll go fetch some chum. He walks off towards one of the storage lockers without waiting for a response. Is he always this nice? Oh yeah, all the time. That's him on his best behavior. I raise an eyebrow and he grins, folding his arms and resting against the rail. He graduated from Navy school real young, scored top of his class, built his first engine rig by himself when he was, what, 17? So yeah, he's a genius. The pride in his voice is unmistakable, but there's something else under it. Something more tired. But being brilliant doesn't mean you know how to talk to people. He's always been like that. He's always been like that, cold, direct, gets lost in his head too easy. That's why Mother asked me to go with him. He tilts his head slightly, watching Vert in the distance, hauling out a crate. She said he could survive anything except being alone. There's no resentment in the way he says it, just quiet loyalty, the kind you don't question. You ever feel like you're missing out, living like this, on a ship, day in, day out? He doesn't answer right away, just lets out a long, slow sigh and leans further against the railing, fingers tapping the wooden rod against his leg. Yeah, I do. His voice is soft now, quieter than before. But when Mom asked me to look after him, she wasn't really asking. He's my big brother, always been smarter, faster, hell, probably braver too, but she was worried, said if someone didn't go with him, he'd end up pushing the world away before it even had the chance to let him in. I nod. Orange scratches the back of his neck, the grin turning a little sheepish. I might not be as bright as him, not by a long shot, but I'd try, you know? Try to find him friends, at least. He looks down at the deck for a second, then shrugs. Hasn't really worked so far. Bert approaches with a metal bucket dangling from one hand. I'm catching one fish and then I'm off. That's all I need to survive until lunch. He says it like a man stating his will before marching into the trench. Orange smirks and kneels down beside the bucket, pulling out a bit of chum and carefully hooking it onto my line. He hums a little as he works, like he's trying to keep the mood from sliding fully into Vert's vision of reality. I'll probably do the same, to be honest. He hands me the rod, wiping his fingers on a rag he tucked into his belt. Had to patch up a few busted planks last night. Storm did more damage than we thought. Didn't get much sleep. He grabs his own rod and hooks his bait with the same ease, barely looking down. I wouldn't say no to breakfast that doesn't chip a tooth, though. Unspoken, wait, I just mentioned, like, eating coal. Like, I forget, like, Stardew Valley. And then, what is it? Like, eating quartz. I forgot. I totally forgot. Well, since you're on this part of the game by now, you sure noticed that by this time I got used to be without an editor. That's because I started writing the story in Spanish and just translating. Yeah, it has its moments. Best game though, bro. If you were a scientist too, I hope you'd be the best. Make a stable FEV for all animals IRL. Yeah, Abigail. They made her a dragon in the furry mod. So it makes sense for her to eat the quartz. Alright, unspoken, Vert approaches the railing, his rod held as if it particularly annoys him. With a precise, well-practiced flip, he swings the line out over the side after dipping the hook into the chum bucket and just coating it. The bait hits the water with a soft plop. Less than 5 seconds pass. The line jerks hard. Bert doesn't even flinch. He yanks it back in one smooth motion, the rod bending slightly as a silver flash breaks the surface. A decently sized fish flails on the hook, flapping wildly as it arcs through the air and lands with a wet slap on the deck. Without any celebration or comment, Bert picks it up from the gills and starts walking back towards the saloon. This was tedious enough. And then he's gone, just like that. Orange and I stand there in stunned silence, both of us staring at the spot where he had been, like he just performed a vanishing act. I blink, still holding my rod like it's just become obsolete. What kind of sorcery was that? Orange's mouth opens and then closes again. He glances at the empty air where Vert used to be, and looks down at his own rod. I have no idea. We both lean over the rail and peer down at our hooks, dangling lifeless in the water. Nothing, not even a nibble. The line sways gently, untouched, like the fish below are deliberately ignoring us out of spite. I glance over at Orange. That was absolute bullshit. Seriously, just a few seconds, not even a ripple out here for us. Gives his rod a small tug, like that'll magically summon a fish. It doesn't. Hey, what's going on between you and the boss? Neela? Orange nods. Yeah, I mean, she's always just been the boss to me, snappy, good at yelling, and somehow knows where everyone's supposed to be at all times. But I never seen her tail do weird stuff when you're around. I smirk, rubbing the back of my neck. Yeah, we're, trying to improve things, you know, getting closer. It's been kind of a mess, but she's worth it. Orange grins from afar. Hey, more power to you. Just don't get caught slacking off around her, or we're both dead. Orange sighs, shifting his weight from one foot to the other. A tug. Orange straightens immediately, hands tightening around the rod. Wait, hold on. But nothing follows. The line goes slack again, like nothing ever touched it. Ugh, tease. I rub my arms, the cold's creeping in deeper now, cutting through my sleeves like needles. The rain may have stopped, but the air is soaked through, and I'm already starting to shiver. Hey, can you hold mine for a second? I need to run to the cabin and grab the waterproof coat the chef gave me. I'm freezing. Orange nods at me without looking up, still focused on his rod. Sure, just give me a... Another sharp tug. Oh, come on! He grips the rod again, eyes narrowing. Okay, gonna need a minute. This fish is messing with me. I nod, teeth starting to chatter. The cold's wrapping around my spine now. A familiar voice cuts through the damp. Victoria. Victoria's the hag, isn't it? Doing some more fishing. Morning fishing, are we? Yep. I turn towards the voice, almost startled. I'm actually really glad you're here. Without hesitating, I pass her the rod. Would you mind holding this for a second? I need to run and grab my coat before I turn blue. She looks at the rod in her hands like she's just been hauled a live eel, but she accepts it anyway, raising an eyebrow. Ugh, disgusting. The line snaps taut with a whip, the tip of the rod bending so far forward it looks like it might snap. What in the world? She nearly gets pulled forward when the rod in her hands twitches once more. With both hands gripping the handle as if she were hanging onto a writhing snake, she takes an uncomfortable step back. Wait, hang on. Hold it steady. I'm holding it steady. It's trying to kill me. I grab the rod beneath her hands, trying to brace it with my weight. The line whistles as it stretches, the rod still bowing in a dangerous arc. We try together, feet planted, arms straining. One tug. Nothing. Two. Still nothing. On the third, the rod doesn't budge an inch. It feels like it's hooked into the ocean itself. Oh, great. More CGs. It's a swordfish. Or is that... Yeah, it's swordfish, not tuna. Hands you amethyst. How did you know I was hungry? You'll notice a funny bug I couldn't fix after the Rempy switch. Alright. I'll try and notice it. Before I can get a better grip, Victoria suddenly plants her heels and shoves me aside with a flick of her tail. Firm, practiced, and without looking. You're not taking me down, you slimy bastard! The rod bends more forcefully, the line sings. Although her arms are strained, her eyes are burning brightly, her hair sticking to her cheeks in the moisture, and her jaws fixed as if she were about to win a duel. I've wrangled drunks twice your weight out of the tavern doors, and you think you're special. I've buried elbows into ribs tougher than your scales. Her knuckles go white on the grip. The line yanks again, but she holds. Holds! By the old stones, I'll boil your bones and feed you to the gulls if you ever think you're winning this. Even Orange's mouth is hanging open now. Is it Kayamar though cho damn trom? That what is even this anymore? Now she's speaking Skyrim or some shit. The rod jerks. She doesn't move. But I don't even know. I'm not sure if she's cursing, summoning spirits, or both, but whatever is on the other end of that line may want to reconsider its life's choices. The rod dips hard, one final violent pull, and then the surface of the water breaks with a crack. Out of the deep rises a massive marlin, its body slicing through the waves like a silver spear. The morning light hits its scales, casting flashes of blue and steel. Its long, sharp bill carves a path in the air as it thrashes, trying to tear free, easily longer than a man and still full of fight. Victoria doesn't say a word now. Her teeth are clenched, her eyes locked onto the beast like she's staring down an old rival. The rod quivers under the strain, and her boots skid an inch across the damp wood, but she doesn't let go. I just stand here, holding my breath, completely forgotten. Behind us, I hear footsteps, whispers. A few passengers have gathered by the upper railing, peering down over the deck with wide eyes. The low chatter of voices builds slowly. More footsteps, some of the crew now, leaning out from the galley hatch. One poking his head from a cabin window. Even Orange is frozen, halfway between stepping in and backing away. No one speaks. Everyone watches. And Victoria, silent now, locked in a brutal tug-of-war with this beast of the sea, holds fast. Shoulders trembling, muscles tense. The marlin arches once more, water raining from its body in a shimmering arc, its sword-like nose slicing downwards. The line screams, but she doesn't budge. Victoria sinks in her heels as the rod groans under the pressure and bends to its maximum limit. It happens after the marlin thrashes once more and makes one last ferocious twist of its blade-like nose. Crack! The handle splits with a sharp snap, but there's no reel to lose, no tangle of gears to fail, just a stick, a line, and fury. The bottom half clatters onto the deck, but she's already gripping the upper part of the rod, the long section with the line still attached. Just a stick now, soaked and slicked in her hands. She wraps the line once around her arm, ignoring the way it bites into her skin, and braces herself again. Then she pulls. With everything she's got, she heaves backwards, snarling through gritted teeth, the marlin's thrashing silhouette growing closer, rising. And then it happens. The sea breaks open. The marlin bursts from the water in a shimmering arc, water cascading from its blade-like nose, muscles twitching in defiance of gravity. With one final yank, Victoria rips it through the air and slams it onto the deck with a wet, thunderous thud. The fish flops once, then again, then lies still. Huge, shining, defeated. Gaelic, what? She's going Irish. Speaking Skyrim, yeah. Actually told a Scottish friend, hey, can you tell your uncle to translate this to his dialect? Okay. Foos rode the fish onto the ship, pretty much. Victoria stands over it, stick still in hand, chest rising and falling. Her knees buckle, and without a word, without ceremony, she topples forward and collapses beside the beast, unconscious. Thunk. Thump. Orange and I don't move. We don't breathe. We just stare. She just... I nod slowly, eyes locked onto the scene. Yep. And she's not even gonna remember it. Probably not. Oh no. Oh no, doesn't the chef still hate us? The chef steps out, drying his hand with a rag, clearly irritated at the commotion. What the hell is all... Lady Victoria! He freezes mid-step. His eyes fall on the fish sprawled across the deck, then shift to Victoria laying beside it, unconscious, the broken fishing stick still in her hand like a war trophy. Why, not even I could have hauled a marlin that size on my own. He walks forward, kneels beside Victoria, checks her pulse with the back of his hand, then huffs through his nose, half concern, half disbelief. She's fine, out cold, probably burned through every muscle in her spine. He glances up at me. This is your fault! I'll carry her to her cabin. She's not going to wake up anytime soon. In the meantime, somehow get that thing to the kitchen. He nods towards the marlin, its tail twitching once in protest. Maybe ask the other twin. So, you grab the head or the tail? If you scroll back, you will notice the animation just locking and then failing. Huh? The animation of Victoria just falling? Hold on. Actually, I could skip back here. She fell down. I don't know what I'm missing. Yeah, I don't know what I'm missing. When she drops to the floor, she goes up first and then falls. No. I don't know. Maybe I don't have the eyes for it. There's only the faint clinking of silverware and the odd whisper from one or two tables in the saloon this morning. I sit by myself in the far end, with shards of navy biscuits scattered across a half-empty bowl of gray fish paste. Considering everything, it's salty, toasty, and not that horrible. Today was supposed to mark the start of a rationing, the real stuff, the kind of meals that make you question if chewing is even worth the effort. We'd finally hit that point in the trip, the one where every bite has to count, and the kitchen starts counting tins instead of recipes. But then Victoria happened, and now we're all eating marlin. Or what's left of it. The chef turned the catch into a spread, some miracle of knife work and seasoning, just enough to turn dry biscuit into something resembling a meal. It's still warm, salty, not half bad, almost filling. Still, part of me can't help thinking it was a waste. That fish could have made steaks, thick-cut grilled and with oil and lemon. Instead, it's a smear, a thin coat over hard bread, but when I consider the amount it made, the number of mouths it fed this morning, I can't complain, not really. Stretching it into paste was a smart move. It gave the biscuits value, made them feel like food. But this is the beginning of the hard part now. Fresh meals will get rarer. Everything this point on will be measured, rationed, conserved. I chew in silence, eyes on the bowl, and wonder how long it'll be before a smear of fish becomes a luxury. I think I'll miss eating fresh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, danger alert. Anyways, gonna go play Helldivers. If anyone has a question, I'd be glad to answer later. Alright. Neela steps into the saloon with a confused look on her face, sniffing the air once before scrunching her nose. Why does it smell like fish in here? I don't lift my head, just keep dragging my biscuit through the pale gray smear on the plate. Fish for breakfast. She walks closer, that same note of suspicion in her voice. For the crew? Yep. She stops next to my bench, and I hear her tail swoosh once against the floor. And the passengers? Everyone. That's weird. We're in the last third of the trip. This is when we're supposed to start rationing, you know. Hardtack, tea, stuff that lasts, not pulling fish out of the ocean and spreading it like butter. I shrug and keep chewing. Lady Victoria caught one earlier. Big thing. Knocked her out cold, but she got it on deck. Neela blinks. She fished it herself? Yep. And it was served to everyone? Affirmative. She lowers herself to sit across from me, still staring at the plate like it's something dangerous. If something goes wrong, storm, delay, whatever, we're going to regret not saving that. She folds her arms. This is why I don't trust good mornings. They come with stupid decisions. I push the plate slightly towards her. Still warm. She leans in, squints at it, and then sits back again. You're gonna eat all of it? Maybe. Bold of you to gamble your stomach like that. Why are you so skeptical of eating something different than Navy biscuits? She leans back, arms still crossed, giving the plate a final suspicious glance. I'm just not used to it, that's all. She pauses, then lifts her gaze to mine with a shrug. I was mentally prepared to eat dry, rock-hard biscuits with plain tea and nothing else for the rest of the trip. That's how it's supposed to go. No surprises, just routine. I raise an eyebrow. You were looking forward to that? No, I hate it, but it makes sense. It's safe. You plan for the worst in the last stretch, not throw a fish party out of nowhere. She gestures vaguely towards the kitchen. This is like serving cake during a fire drill. I snort under my breath and take another bite. She watches me with that same mix of judgment and disbelief. Well, if the fire starts, at least I won't be hungry. She doesn't laugh, doesn't even smile. I'm being serious, John. I look up from my plate, biscuits halfway into my mouth. So am I. It's just a fish. Her brow twitches. That's the only warning I get before her voice tightens slightly. Not angry, not loud, just controlled. No, it's not just a fish. It's a break in the routine, in the plan. We're supposed to ration now. You don't just throw fresh meat at the whole crew like we're heading home tomorrow. Someone's got the tism here. I chew a little softer, watching the way she crosses her arms tighter. Oh no, she became a commentary YouTuber. I mean, it's one fish, Neela, caught by accident. So, that doesn't mean we throw it on toast and pretend we're fine. What if the weather turns? What if we get delayed? Aren't you overreacting a little? She doesn't blink, doesn't smile, just stares at me like I asked if fire needs oxygen. No, I'm not. The tone is clipped, too serious for what feels like a conversation about mashed up fish. Before I can reply, the door opens again and Orange steps inside, rubbing one eye with the heel of his hand. Hey, just so you know, Lady Victoria's fine. Bit dazed, but breathing. Morning, boss. Neela doesn't even look at him. Not now. After a moment of silence, he shrugs and slowly backs out, whispering something to himself as the door closes behind him. She turns back to me immediately, voice still stern. This isn't about the fish itself, it's about procedure. You always ask the officer in charge what to do with fresh food, always. You don't just make a call in the kitchen because something looks good or someone got lucky. She taps a claw on the edge of the table. That fish might have been better off in a barrel with salt than spread on dry crackers for morale. But it did boost morale. And what's morale gonna taste like in 4 days if we hit a storm and run out of meat? She keeps going, hands now moving slightly as she talks, her voice rising just enough to draw attention if anyone else were in the room. The whole point of protocol is so things don't fall apart. We're on the last leg of the trip, and instead of setting an example, my uncle is just winging it. No warning, no clearance, no chain of command. I sigh and lean forward, resting my elbows on the table. We got people who have never even seen Navy rations before, and now they're going to expect this every morning? What if tomorrow he serves stew? What if he throws a party? What if... I lean in a little more, and before I can think better of it, I just do it, quick and simple, a tiny peck on her cheek. She goes silent, stiff. I sit back, waiting for her to blink, breathe, anything. She turns slowly, eyes wide, and stares at me like I just knocked her compass off the table. That wasn't fair. I give her the faintest shrug. Neither was the fish paste. Unbelievable. You're lucky I want to keep whatever this is between us, otherwise I would have slapped you by now. I just shrug, pretending I'm unfazed. I'll take my chances. Oh, no. Oh boy, here we go. Were MREs a thing at this point? I don't know. Oh, by the way, I strongly recommend checking the NFSW settings since you are streaming. Yeah, you said checking. It should be unchecked. It should be fine. Unless some update reverted it or something. That's off. Anyways, let me readjust. Big Chungus appears, yeah. She leans forward, clearly about to peck me back, then, like some kind of stealthy ninja, the chef suddenly appears between us. Where's my kissing on? Without a word, he gently but firmly pushes Neela back into her seat, cutting off whatever she was about to do. Then in one smooth motion, he sets down a plate in front of her, steam still rising from the fish paste. Eat up, breakfast served. Neela blinks, caught off guard, but quickly recovers, shooting me a glance that says she will do it again as soon as he leaves. Without much warning, he takes a step backwards, right into me. Sorry, Giovanado. I glance up at him, and he gives me a quick, tight nod before turning away without another word. It's clear he's not exactly thrilled about his daughter and me. Smooth. Neela stares at her plate for a second, then back at me. Whatever hesitation she had earlier is gone now, replaced by what she wants. I want a kiss, now. I blink, halfway through lifting my fork. Right here, with fish paste on the table? Don't care, you started it, I'm finishing it. She leans in slowly, lips tilted in a crooked smile, eyes locked on mine. I set the fork down and start to lean in too. Yeah, I saw that coming. Something slices the air between us. A sharp thunk follows as a knife buries itself deep into the wood wall of the saloon just behind me, perfectly aimed through the gap between our faces. I freeze. My spine goes cold. We both turn to look at the quivering handle sticking out from the paneling. Uncle! From the kitchen door, just barely visible in the frame, the chef's silhouette stands with a second knife in hand, drying it slowly with a towel. I sit back very slowly, lips pressed into a flat line. Mila sighs and stabs her biscuit with a spoon. You had to kiss me first, didn't you? Right here in front of my salad. Wait. How not safe for work? We're talking. Well, I already know. Mila opens the door, steps inside, and doesn't even wait for me to enter before she grabs a thick book from her night table, some old engineering manual with a cracked spine, and drops it on the floor, sliding it neatly under the door with her foot. The dull scrape of the paper against wood feels louder than it should. She looks at it like it's a switch she just flipped. That's to keep my uncle from kicking the door open. Clever. Mila turns towards me, arms are relaxed at her sides, wings slightly unfurled. I want a kiss. No interruptions this time. Oh, this one again. She steps closer, her voice still dry, like she's reciting from a checklist. We have a lot of time today. No shifts, no storms, no knives near our faces, so I want kissing. Lots of it. I see, orders from the officer in charge. She nods once, still serious. I don't waste time with another smart remark. I close the distance and pull her in, her warmth familiar now, welcome. Her arms loop around my shoulders almost immediately as she leans into the kiss like it's something she's owed. No, here we go. Full mouth. Sure enough, her jaw starts to part, snout opening wide like she's about to try and swallow half my face again. I place a hand gently on her cheek, stopping her. No, not like that. Just lean in. Soft this time. She freezes, her eyes search mine, not defensive, not annoyed, just surprised. She doesn't say anything. Instead, slowly, deliberately, she closes her mouth and leans forward. Careful now, gentle. Her lips meet mine again, soft and warm, and this time there's no rush, our first real kiss. Neither of us really knows what we're doing. Her snout makes the angle tricky, and I can feel her nose bump gently against my cheek as she tries to adjust. I don't know where to put my hands, so I settle them on her shoulders. Her claws shift hesitantly on my chest, like she's trying to mirror me, but second guesses it halfway. Still, we don't pull away. There's a strange rhythm to it, slow and awkward at first, but it starts to find shape on its own. We tilt our heads, try different pressure, different pacing. Her breath is warm against my face, and the longer it goes on, the less we fumble. Eventually, I feel the tip of her tongue brush against my bottom lip. It's tentative, like she's testing the waters. I part my lips slightly, and she takes that as permission. Her tongue slips in, warm, smooth, and longer than I was prepared for. A lot longer. It tests my gag reflexes. It curls past mine before I can even react. I freeze for half a second, overwhelmed by just how thoroughly she just occupied my entire mouth. It's weird, not unpleasant, just unexpected. I let out a muffled noise, part surprise, part amusement. You've got a lot of tongue. She doesn't pull away, if anything. I think she smirks into the kiss. Wait, how do you talking like in the middle of just crunching, man? That's crazy. You've got a lot of tongue. I can't tell if that was an apology or a challenge. Either way, I don't stop her. Little by little, the fumbling fades. It stops being awkward, becomes instinct. As if we already know what the other wants, we move together with the feeling we've done this 100 times. Beyond this instant, there's no true goal or rush. Her tongue brushes mine again, not so much invading now as teasing, coaxing. I press back with mine, and she hums into my mouth, content, maybe even proud. And then, in the spaces between two breaths, she mutters it against my lips. Oh, no, I want to go further. Oh no. This is where the not safe for work comes in, doesn't it? She doesn't pull away when she says it. She's still kissing me. Still close enough that her words melt into my mouth more than hang in the air. That's not a demand, not even a request. Just the truth, plain and quiet. My pulse kicks up, and I open my eyes just enough to meet hers. She's watching me from inches away, calm, serious, her tail curling slowly behind her, waiting. Waiting to see if I want the same. Moving her hands slowly at first makes her look like she doesn't know what to do with them. With other lack of coordination, one glides down my back as the other floats uncomfortably over my side. Fingertips following the contour of my rib cage. It's awkward, not sure. But I don't mind. I mirror her, letting my hands explore the same inexperience. One ends up somewhere near her shoulder blade and the other rests on her hip before second-guessing itself and moving up again. Neither of us really seem to know where anything is supposed to go. We just feel our way through it, bumping elbows once, nearly knocking our foreheads together. And still, we don't stop kissing. We stay connected, breath to breath, motion to motion. Our kisses come slower now, deeper, more drawn out. Every time we press closer, her body fits against mine just a little better. Like we're slowly learning a new kind of language with every mistake. We're both clumsy, nervous, figuring it out as we go. But neither of us pulls away. And neither of us wants to. The chef warps through the door like the liquid robot from Terminator, yeah. Boss music muffled by the door, yeah. Hours later, the cabin is quiet. The bed's a mess, blankets tangled, pillows totally flattened, but neither of us seems to care. I'm sitting on the edge, finishing to adjust my suspenders, still catching my breath in a slow, steady rhythm. My limbs feel like they've melted and reformed at least twice. Behind me, Neela is adjusting her dress. Yeah, there was something that was supposed to go on here that the filtered us from. Wings shifting as she moves, still a little sluggish. She doesn't say anything for a moment, just looks around the room like it's been turned inside out. That was something. Her tone is dry, almost cautious. Like she doesn't know what label to give it. Not regretful, not joking, just honest. I glance over my shoulder at her, rubbing the back of my neck. I kinda winged it. She snorts softly through her nose and sits beside me, her shoulder brushing mine. Yeah, I noticed. I did too. She leans back on her hands, gazing up at the ceiling, tail lazily curling and uncurling beside her. But we learned. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it didn't have to be. I nod slowly, the quiet warmth in her voice settling in my chest. Yeah, I'm glad it was with you. Me too. She reaches over and takes my hand, fingers lacing with mine like it's second nature now. Would have hated for my first time to be with someone I didn't trust. We sit on the edge of the bunk for a while, just breathing, listening to the soft creak of the ship and the water beyond the hull. Whatever just happened between us, it changed something. Not everything, not all at once, but enough. Neela shifts beside me with a quiet grunt, stretching her legs out, then immediately winces. Oh, no, that's not happening. I glance at her. You good? No, my tail is cramping from just sitting. I don't think I can walk right now. She slouches slightly, wings drooping, one hand rubbing the base of her tail with a frown. Her other hand is still holding mine, though. Could you go grab me something to eat, please? Already asking for room service? We've been making love for hours, Sherry. I'm starving. She doesn't sound upset, just dramatically suffering. I can't even stretch my wings properly. I tried and something popped. She flops back onto the bunk with a groan. Just wait till wait, this is Neela's bunk, isn't it? Not Anon's. Alright. Give me something salty and something sweet. No biscuits. Got it. She waves a hand dismissively and mumbles into the pillow. You're a good room service. Now go before my stomach eats itself. Back soon. Don't move too much or your tail might sue me. It's already filed the paperwork. Oh boy, here we go. Oh no. Chef, I fucked your daughter. I don't like this. A feeling. A presence. It wraps around me like cold fog off the sea, pressing into my chest, making my steps slow, cautious. Danger. My body tenses before I even see him. Here goes nothing. He felt it in the force. I head straight for the kitchen. The chef is here, back turned, standing perfectly still as he works over something at the stove. He doesn't look at me. Doesn't need to. His aura, if you can even call it that, fills the room like smoke. Dense, suffocating, sharp enough to slice the air. I straighten up, clear my throat, and say in the most formal tone I can manage. I fucked your daughter. Good afternoon, sir. The silence that follows is deafening. Food for Neela? I nod slowly, once. No words, just a silent, terrified affirmation. The knife he's holding clinks as he sets it down, very carefully, beside the cutting board. Did you two have fun? I open my mouth, unsure if I should lie, apologize, or bolt for the nearest window. But I don't get the chance to decide. Everything turns black. Just darkness. When I come to, I'm on the floor, my head pounding, vision swimming as I try to remember what the hell happened. Then it hits me. He knocked me out cold. He knocked me into next Sunday. Anons with black eyes, man. Still not as big as the black eye Damien gave Inko. He must have a lower power level. I sit on the edge of the bunk with a hand pressed against my eye. It throbs in rhythm with my heartbeat. A slow, deliberate reminder of what happens when you kiss the chef's daughter. Don't move too much. Her voice is quiet. I'm not really. Just breathing hurts a little. They said you shouldn't bounce on the floor like that. You had a head injury, idiot. Her accent flares, that little uptick on the vowels, the soft roll on the R's. I almost smile. Almost. Swelling makes it a bad idea. I wasn't planning to reenact it. She pushes herself up with her elbow and winces like it hurts her more than it hurts me. You didn't even block. I didn't think he'd hit me. He's my uncle. Of course he'd hit you. I reach for the napkin-covered plate next to me and lift one of the dry biscuits. Just reminding you, you were the one who asked for food after getting tired of... My head was too light to think straight. She snatches my biscuit with a groan, cheeks already flushed, eyes still shut like if she doesn't look at me, maybe the words won't count. Her tail curls around her own leg like she's trying to hide from both memory and consequence. You sounded pretty certain at the time. I was hungry, not logical. She takes a bite like it'll shut me up. It doesn't. Neela chews slower now, way slower, as if she's trying to delay whatever thought just punched its way into her skull. It's our fault anyway. Her voice drops. We forgot what's above us. I blink. Above? Mila groans in frustration. Oh no, he's got a peephole. There was a peephole. The kitchen, John. The kitchen. It takes a second. Oh. I couldn't believe he heard us kissing. Like, it was just quiet kissing. Like, he wouldn't hear that. But you know what went on. You know what went on. He probably heard everything. Her hands cover her face now. The tips of her ears are glowing red. Her tail slaps the bed once before curling around her like a barrier. She lets out a long pained groan. All the moaning, all the sounds. We weren't exactly quiet, mon Dieu. I didn't really see the rest of the day. Mila shifts, her tail flicking nervously. My uncle would probably never forgive me. Even if I'm an adult, he's still my adoptive father. So that makes him my adoptive father-in-law? Mila's tail snaps sharply against the back of my head. Did it hurt too much? You and your uncle have more in common than I thought. Mila doesn't say anything for a moment, just her tail twitching guiltily, still resting near my leg like it's trying to apologize for acting on its own. Probably wasn't just my uncle. What do you mean? The crew, Anon, the whole crew probably heard us. She peeks out again, eyes wide with horror. I've never been that. Her voice drops down to a whisper. Loud. She groans, covering her face again. It was my first time. It was bound to happen. I didn't know I'd sound like that. I don't think anyone minds. I mind! Her voice cracks. They probably heard everything. Every stupid noise I made. Every stupid noise I made. Squeak! Squeak! Every sound, Just saying, you were the one who told me to go get food. I was full of lust and not thinking straight. Her voice echoes off the wall, sharp and panicked. Somewhere in the distance, I swear I hear a plate clatter on a different cabin. Not gonna lie, I wasn't thinking straight either. I was delirious, lightheaded. I had blood loss in the brain. Her tail whips out blindly, smacking my shin. You came back with a black eye, knocked out and no lunch. I stretch my legs a little, wincing as my back gives a dull pop. The bruise above my eye still pulses, but at least the swelling's gone down enough that I can see straight. Anyways, we should probably go eat breakfast. As I start to stand, her tail curls around my waist. Wrist, gentle this time. Wait. I glance back. Just go to the wheelhouse. I'll bring breakfast. You sure? It's just Navy biscuits and tea again. I can carry that. You're avoiding the chef. She clears her throat once, then again, slowly lifts her hand from her arms crossed and points right at my eye without a word. Fair enough. She nods solemnly, still groaning like her dignity's hibernating until further notice. Oh boy. Hey, first hour into the stream. Alright. I reach the wheelhouse and push the door open. The captain is at the helm, hands steady on the wheel, eyes forward. He doesn't even turn fully, just gives me a short glance out of the corner of his eye, then back to the horizon. How's the head? yeah, how was the head, Anon? How was the head, Anon? Oh. I walk in and shut the door behind me. The air smells like oil, salt, and old wood. Can't say I'm okay, but not bad enough to take the day off. The captain nods once, nothing more. The silence creeps in, long and thick, wrapping around the room like a fog. He doesn't fidget, doesn't even clear his throat, just focused on the horizon. No need to clarify anything now. I blink. The whole ship knows. My mouth dries. You should have been a little more discreet. I don't say anything. My jaw tenses. A flicker of heat burns behind my ears, and my heart tries to crawl out of my chest and throw itself onto the paddle wheel. Fuck! Captain keeps his eyes on the ocean, like he's talking to the water, not me. Look, it's not that I mind my niece being with someone. It's just, I mind with her being with a skinny. His words are calm, too calm. The kind of calm that feels like it's sitting on top of dynamite. But for future times, you two shouldn't yell that hard. That makes me want to just rewind this and just see what was said before with the filter off. He speaks it as if he was attempting to avoid saying it. He didn't want to create a coffin, yet each word is like a nail being pounded into it. I don't move. I don't breathe. I'm pretty sure my soul is halfway out my body, trying to escape through the nearest vent. Fuck! Just be more mindful next time. I nod. I can't trust myself to speak. The door opens again. I don't turn. I don't have to. I feel the shift in the air. Captain glances over his shoulder, and in walks Neela, holding 2 metal cups of tea. She doesn't say anything. Neither does he. The captain steps aside without a word, brushing past her like a cold wind. No eye contact, no grunt. Just out the door, boots heavy on the planks, and gone. She moves quietly, setting the cups on the little table on the wall. The chair beside it, the one that got cracked by Neela, is fixed now. We don't speak. The engine hums below, the paddles churning water like clockwork. I sit down on the fixed chair, feel the subtle stiffness of the wood still holds. They know. Neela groans, loud and long. One hand goes to her face. The other clenches into a fist like she might punch the tea for existing. Neela reaches for the wheel, grimacing. The sky's brighter now, sun filtering through the fogged windows of the wheelhouse, casting pale beams across the floorboards. We've been silent for a while, save for some flirting between us every now and then. The hours crawl, our shift stretches like the silence between us. Noon bells don't ring out here, but the stomach grumble keeps time well enough. I glance up towards the door. Lunch? Neela doesn't even look at me. Nope. You hungry? Oui. She exhales, annoyed with herself, annoyed with everything. But I'm not walking past that saloon. I'm not looking those strangers in the eye. Not after this morning. Same. You don't want to see them either? Worse. I gesture to my face. I want to stay alive. Neela groans again and lets her forehead fall dramatically against the wheel with a soft thunk. We're going to starve. Yep. The sun's barely clinging to the horizon now, bleeding orange into the clouds like it's just as tired as we are. The light on the wheelhouse is dim, warm, and not helping the way my stomach twists on itself. My head rests against the wall. I haven't moved much in the last hour. Neither has Neela. She's still by the wheel, tail limp, wings drooping ever so slightly. Both of us look like deflated versions of ourselves. No lunch, no snacks, barely any tea left. Shift's over, but the pain remains. How long until we reach the continent? About 5 days. Exactly 5. Maybe less, maybe more. We both groan at the same time. That's a lot of days to avoid the kitchen. That's a lot of days to avoid my uncle. I don't think I can survive on stubbornness alone. I thought I could survive on shame and tea. I was wrong. My stomach growls, hers answers louder. We just remain where we are, hollow, exhausted, and waiting for the world to be slightly less cruel. The door opens again. We don't even flinch this time. No strength left. The captain steps in, hat tucked under one arm, rubbing his temple like he's already regrets walking through the door. He glances at us, me slumped in the chair, Neela half melted against the wheel, and he makes his way to the helm. He reaches for the wheel. Neither of us moves. I work better alone. We're just tired. It sounds pathetic because it is. Neela doesn't even lift her head. A long drawn-out silence, and a deep sigh, then a sigh deep and guttural. Right, that's enough of this, bollocks. We blink. He takes a step forward, taking his hat off, voice rising. Everyone knows, all right? The whole bloody ship knows that you two went at it like a pair of bloody rabbits. Neela visibly winces. I feel like I just got slapped by a sentence. The crew knows, the passengers know, even the damn boiler probably knows. And now they all know you didn't show up for lunch either. So quit skulking like a pair of guilty schoolchildren and go to the bloody saloon. Eat, breathe, be adults, or whatever the hell you are now. I just noticed how red his eyes are. We both stare at him, frozen. No one gives a toss what you do in bed. They care when you start fainting on shift from starving yourselves because you're too embarrassed to show your faces. More silence. Fair enough. We walk like we're moving through mud, eyes low, legs stiff. No words, no excuses, just raw shame and hunger. Go on, then. He waves us off with a scoff and a stomp of his foot on the floor. And hear every creak in the wood, every footstep behind closed doors. Neela walks beside me, arms crossed tight, shoulders raised, her wings tucked like she's trying to vanish inside herself. Neela walks beside me, arms crossed tight, that was already said. We reach the saloon doors. I push them open. Everything goes silent. Yep. And every damn person inside goes silent. Passengers, crew, even the damn cutlery stops clinking. It's like walking into a funeral. Our funeral. And for fuck's sake. Uh-oh. We don't stop walking. We just keep moving. Heads low. Straight towards the kitchen. Neela doesn't lift her eyes once. I glance at the floor, the walls, the ceiling, anything but the faces staring at us like we're about to confess to a crime. He doesn't say a word. He just grabs the plate. 4 Navy biscuits. And a mug with oats and water. He slaps the plate down in front of me, hard enough that I flinch. Then the same for Neela. 4 biscuits, 1 mug, no extra salt, no words, nothing. Neela doesn't lift her head. Watch, he poisoned it. That'd be funny. There's no breathing in the saloon. A spoon could be heard dropping. The sound of metal against wood reverberates louder than it should, so I'm rather certain someone did. We turn. I get sucker punched. And we leave. We're finally officially week 3. Warning, the following scene contains not safe for work content. If you don't wish to see it, disable it in the options. Like, it should be disabled. What, is this a flashback? That's still off. It's off. Well, I guess, I guess they let you know when it's coming and they don't flashbang you. Oh boy. Oh. Anon looking like he's got an extra chromosome or something. Oh. I bet you if it was turned off, the blanket wouldn't be there. Neela's hair is a complete tank. So this is the day of, right? Or when the thing happened. Neela's hair is a complete tangle spread out on the pillow as if she just lost a hurricane wrestling match. Her eyes are half-lidded, but they still sparkle with that smug, satisfied shine, alongside her chest raising and falling quickly with each breath. I'm not exactly doing better, sweat sticking to my skin, lungs burning, heart hammering like I just ran up the entire damn mast. She lets out a breathy laugh between pants. I can't believe I was missing this my whole life. I sink deeper into the mattress, still catching my breath. Yeah, I guess so. She looks at me with this goofy smile that implies she already knows precisely what she wants next. Her tail languidly coils around my leg. We're doing this every day from now on. I shake my head slightly, my voice low and tired. If we keep going at this pace, I don't think I'll survive a week. She tilts her head. That wasn't a question. Oh no, endure it. Oh man, I wonder what I should choose. Death by Snoo Snoo. Endure it. Yeah, not happening. Endure it, but in silence. Perhaps. Endure it, but complaining. Just give in. Fucking face. The face that you make when you go to the bathroom in your dreams and then you wake up and you realize, uh-oh. Yeah, I'm in trouble. That irrational smile on her face only widens as her breathing slows. Her voice slips into that thick, rolling accent she gets when she's too caught up to hide it as she moves closer, brushing her forehead against mine. I never thought making love would be so, how do you say, incroyable? This is the happiest I've ever been before breakfast in my life. She stretches out like a cat, arms over her head, tail squeezing my leg. I feel relaxed, ready for the day. I just lie there, staring at the bunk above us, lungs still working overtime. At least she's energetic about it. Me, I'm not sure I'll be able to move for a couple of minutes, maybe more. She's glowing, practically buzzing with energy. I'm enjoying being with her too. More than I expected, honestly. But there's no way I can keep up with a dragoness like her. I'm only human. But if I keep going at her pace, I'm going to end up as a cautionary tale whispered to cabin boys about the dangers of overexertion. We should probably talk about this before I die in the process. I'm just finishing the thought when she props herself up on one elbow, eyes sparkling, still half out of breath, but nowhere near as spent as me. So, mon amour, are you enjoying this as much as I am? Before I can answer, she's grinning wider. What things do you like? Your, how do you say, kinks? Wait, this is the first time or second time she's done it. Why would she know? Why would she be like, unless like she's like a hidden gooner for some reason, why would she know about that? My god, calm down, Neela. A finger presses against my chest, light but teasing. Positions, tell me everything. I stare at her, mind blank, soul already halfway leaving my body. Primordial one, take me now. She starts leaning in, planting soft, playful kisses along my cheek, each one dragging me further into that dangerous territory where my body's saying no, but my brain's too fogged to argue. Do you want to do it again, before the shift starts? All I can manage is a low groan, somewhere between primordial dragon help me and please let me rest. She pulls back just enough to look at me, head tilted. What is wrong? Sigh. As much as I enjoy it, I'm not as enduring as you are. Before she collapses back onto the cushion next to me, her eyes narrow in fake indignation. Mon Dieu, you have a way with killing the mood. I turn my head towards her, still catching my breath. I'm not trying to kill the mood. She smirks faintly, eyes half-lidded. I know, but now that I have tried this, I'm just being demanding with my special person. Oh, so we're gender neutral now. We're special person. We're not boyfriend. We're special person. You sound fun. You sound funny. Your accent is showing your true self more than ever. Do I? We'll let the quiet stretch for a bit, and the sound of our breath slowly evening out. Then she breaks it. So, what will you do with your father? I don't know. Her tail brushes my leg again. Since you have decided to stay with me, we will eventually go back to Draconia. Her accent begins to normalize again. I know. I want to meet your father. His whole fucking face just disappears. That's hilarious. No, that's not happening. She raises a brow. You cannot just run away forever. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have met you. She pauses, then nods slightly. That is true, but it's also true we are together now, and I want to confront your father for trying to send you into a war. She's calmer now. You make it sound like he's some kind of monster. You don't know how my father is. He's a hardcore nationalist. That's why I'm bald. Neela looks at me with her serious eyes. You're talking to someone serving under the Crown's flag. He can't be more nationalist than I am. I'll even shave my head to prove it. She leans back a little, resting her head against her arm. I actually work for the Crown. Fair enough. Then I want to have a serious talk from loyalist to loyalist. She studies me for a moment. Has your father ever served under the Crown's flag? Not that I know about. Then he can't talk a single thing back to me. You didn't go to the naval... you didn't go to the naval school like your uncle. Neela is the 1800s Amelia. Wait, Amelia? Is there a character I'm forgetting about named Amelia? I can't think. Replace Anon with that one alien mummy from Mexico. 100... Yeah. Oh, Chudways. Yeah. Duh. That was so short, like I forgot all about it, dude. The shitpost was not memorable. Only the memes. No, but I've contributed far more than the Crown than anyone else on this ship. I shrug. Fair enough. We should probably get dressed and go eat something before we have to go to work. I stretch out a hand and rub at my hips, still feeling the dull numbness from earlier. No surprise, considering Neela nearly broke the bunk beneath us. My hips are still numb. I swear you almost took the whole bunk down. She bites down gently on my shoulder, a teasing but affectionate nip that doesn't deny a thing. You'll recover eventually, but for now, it's time to get dressed. Before I can say anything, she leans in and licks my cheek, A quick, warm flick of her tongue that makes me flinch and grin at the same time. She pushes herself up from the tangled sheets and starts pulling on her clothes. Come on, sloth. Don't want to be late for the wheelhouse. I sit up slowly, still trying to shake off the lingering fog in my muscles, watching her move around the cabin. Damn, what a view. That we're not going to see. I pull my shirt over my head and finally ready to face the day, even if it's going to take me a while to feel fully human again. Neela shoots me a grin over her shoulder. Hurry up, will you? Or I'm leaving without you. Yeah, give me a minute. Oh, look who's happy now. Look whose day I'm going to ruin. A few minutes later, I'm trudging down the corridor alone. Neela left me a while ago, probably halfway through breakfast by now at the wheelhouse, while I'm still moving like an old man with bad knees. The place is lively, passengers chatting, spoons clinking in mugs, the smell of coffee hanging in the air. At the heart of it all is the chef, who is distributing biscuits to passengers one by one, while standing at the doorframe of the kitchen with a tin of them. His smile is warm and well-practiced, giving the impression that he is the kindest man on the planet. And then, then I step into his line of sight and ruin his day. The smile vanishes like a candle in the wind. His eyes lock onto me, hard and cold, and without a word he reaches into the tin and pulls out 4 biscuits. These ones, yeah, they feel suspiciously heavier and harder than usual. Probably picked out just for me. Probably left out for the yesterday, just so they could harden up faster. He drops them into my hand with a flat expression, not even pretending to be polite. I give him the smallest nod before moving on. I wonder whether will be ever a day when I'm not his worst enemy as I walk into the end of the table, or whether his unique take on culinary revenge will always be the first thing I do in the morning. I'm halfway to my seat when I feel a sudden weight on my shoulder. Firm, slightly painful. Is this going to be the rich guy? Oh yeah, day gets even worse. The rich guy. My mind blanks. I heard what you were doing in there, fucking that dragon, you dirty, slimy, skinny. No greeting, no explanation. He just turns and starts walking, dragging me along by my shoulder like I'm luggage. I shoot a glance back towards the saloon, but nobody's paying attention. In a few moments, we're outside, the air cooler, the deck shuddering under the constant churn of the wheel paddles. The sound is loud, constant, and close enough to make talking anywhere else pointless. The ship is probably going full steam ahead. Here, no one should hear us. Before I can even form a question, his hand comes up, smack right across my face. I blink at him, stunned more by the suddenness than the sting. He's glaring, jaw tight, the kind of fury that looks like it's been simmering a while. And yet I'm still riding the high from my morning with Neela. My mood doesn't just vanish on command. If anything, all I can think is that his slap doesn't even come close to one of Neela's smacks with her tail. Whatever he's here for, he's going to have to try a lot harder to shake me right now. Why the hell would you give me that cheap crap instead of one of Victoria's exclusive reserve bottles, huh? It's not the smooth, calculated tone he's always used before. It's this rough, guttural level talk, the kind you hear from dock rats brawling over coins. His eyes are wild, his lips curling like he's ready to bite. Sounds like an alcoholic to me, buddy. Maybe you got a problem. Maybe you need Alcohol's Anonymous, buddy. You shouldn't be drinking and riding. The one you left me was just some sweet piss from a common vineyard. You think I wouldn't notice? You think I'm stupid? Meh. I just stare at him, normally. I might try to keep the peace, but right now, after the morning I've had, after being dragged out here like some petty thief, no, I'm not taking his crap anymore. So, the word hangs between us, swallowed up by the pounding of the wheel. I don't care anymore. Not about his tantrum. Not about whatever threat he thinks he's dangling over me. If he wants to run to the Navy hierarchy because Neela's got a mate, let him. He'll probably just scold her, but nothing else. But instead of backing off, he stiffens, eyes narrowing even more. I tried to do this the easy way. His hand slips into his coat, and then he's going to pull out a gun. He's got a gun! His hand slips into his coat, and for a second I think it's just more bluff until he pulls it halfway out and tilts it just enough for me to see. Cold steel. He's got a gun! A pistol. Not just any pistol. A revolver. One of these new designs starting to show up more and more lately. You know, that chef guy gave me a talk, you know. He's got his eye on you, I hear, and he's willing to pay a pretty penny to see your head go. My body goes rigid. This is past anything I was expecting. My fingers loosen without thinking, and the hard biscuits I've been holding clatter to this deck. Before I can even react, a gust of wind snatches them up, sending them skittering over the edge and churning into the churning water below. I'm no longer in control of the situation. I never was. I'm not playing the nice guy anymore. His voice is low, but the rage in it cuts through the roar of the paddles. I only boarded this ship for one reason, and you're going to help me now, or your loved one pays. His finger fidgets around the revolver's hammer, the subtle click of the metal telling me he's not bluffing. My pulse spikes, the chill in my back spreading all the way up my neck. I'll wait for you after your shift. No one will suspect a thing. He steps in closer, the weight of his words sinking deep before he moves past me, his shoulders slamming into mine with a deliberate force. My back still feels cold. Is this any good? It's decent. It just drags sometimes. My legs are heavy, my stomach's empty, and that cold ice knot in my back hasn't gone away since the rich guy walked off. Every step is a reminder that I've just been yanked into something I don't understand and definitely don't want to be part of. Took you a while to eat breakfast. I didn't eat, Neela. My food disappeared. I don't answer. I just cross the room and drop it into the fixed chair on the wall. Correct the ship's navigation's 5 degrees south. She gives me a curious look, but makes the adjustment without question. I try to settle back into silence, staring out at the endless horizon, but I can feel her eyes on me. It doesn't take long. She approaches me slowly and methodically until she's directly in front of me. She tilts her head slightly and stares directly into my eyes as if she can read every thought I had. You're really going to do this here with the windows open, buddy? All right, spill the beans. What's troubling you? I look over the locked wheel. We're going to lose the course. I don't care. We'll manage. She has no idea what's waiting behind the horizon right now, and I can't decide if telling her will make it better or much worse. Neela doesn't move, just keeps her gaze locked onto mine. Now that I have a mate, I'm not letting go of him. Whatever you're holding, I want to hold it with you. I can't say no to those eyes. I let out a long breath, the kind that drags all the fight out of you, and lean forward in the chair. All right. And I tell her, all of it. What the rich guy said, what he showed me, how he said her life was on the table if I didn't play along. The sound of the paddles roaring outside fades in my head as I lay it out. Every ugly detail, from the moment he gave me those matches, to the biscuits sinking in the wake. I was hoping for a CG. A while later, Neela's leaning against the wheel, her face tight in every way I've never seen before. In a way I've never seen before. Not angry, not frustrated, just worried. And I get it, because I'm the one who saw the rich guy's hand on the hammer of that revolver. Felt how dead serious he was. Are you 100% sure it was a revolver? I nod once, no hesitation. She shuts her eyes for a moment, letting out a slow breath, then reaches over and unlocks the wheel. I glance at the compass out of habit, still right on course. We didn't drift a single degree the whole time I was talking. It's a lot to take in. I was sure the passengers got checked after boarding for weapons. She pauses mid-thought, brow furrowing. Wait, I remember now. The one in charge of that was the officer in charge of the navigation. I can already see where she's going with it. Seriously, fuck him. Since he didn't even show up for the trip, the rich guy probably never got checked at all. The paddles outside keep churning like nothing's wrong, but inside the wheelhouse, the air feels heavier. Neela's voice drops low. This is a serious matter. Since this is a mail ship, we don't carry weapons. She glances around the wheelhouse, like the walls themselves might be listening. There's only one flintlock musket on board. That's from the previous ship. It's probably all rusty, not even capable of firing. Well, we'll bluff then. I nod slowly, the weight of it sinking in. I'll bluff him with it. You hit him over the head with a hammer. It'd be wise not to tell my uncle about this. Not just yet. Her eyes lock onto mine, firm and unyielding. For now, you follow along with wherever he wants. We'll figure something out. The whir of the paddles fills the silence between us, yet I'm thankful I have someone on my side. Hours later, as we make our way gradually through the bleak morning, the ship groans and creaks under the weight of the waves. My nerves are raw from the constant strain coiling inside of me, along with the air feeling heavy and thick, like calm before a storm. Oh boy, there he is. The rich guy leads me down into the cargo hold. Truth is, the game's been rigged from the start. Not really. It was our first project as a team, so we learned a lot making it for the next game, especially everything related to giving tasks to people. The next game, at least we did good things. The guy that made the backgrounds presented the project to her art teacher at college as different stages of his art progress. Best one he made was outside. My footsteps echo onto the wood floor, but I barely notice. All I can focus on is the cold weight pressing down on my chest. The sickening sense that whatever is about to happen here isn't right. He stops near a crate that looks older than the rest. Its wood darker and worn, almost like it's been through 100 voyages. On top of it sits a small box, heavy-looking and carved with a huge draconian crown ornament and unmistakable. He points at it without a word. Open that. My hands hesitate, trembling slightly. I swallow hard, eyes locked onto the box. What's inside? You know damn well what's inside. He steps closer, his glare sharp enough to cut steel. You're not in a position to ask questions now. I was kind enough to keep you alive. His words hit me like a punch, cold and brutal. I can feel my heart pounding so loud it might give me away. Every instinct screams to run, to get as far away from this dark hole as possible, but my feet won't move. Around us, the crate seems to close in, shadows lengthening like claws waiting to snatch me up. I reach out slowly, fingers brushing the carved crown on the box, knowing that once I open it, there's no turning back. I take a shaky breath and lift the lid of the box. The creak echoes in the stillness of the cargo hold. Inside, rows of gold bars gleam coldly under the dim light. Their smooth surfaces show that these are national treasure quality. Ah, I see, you're a Rhino Rex. Before I can even fully process what I'm seeing, a heavy shove sends me stumbling sideways. My plan worked as intended. He doesn't wait for a reaction. Get out, and if you tell anyone about this, I'll come after them. Understand? I nod, swallowing the lump in my throat, already turning away. The weight of guilt crushes me with every step I take back towards the deck. That gold, those bars, probably belong to the Crown, or maybe to some passenger who trusted the ship to keep their valuables safe. I keep my head down, heart pounding, knowing I just walked through something I wasn't meant to see, and somehow I have to live with it. Honestly, I wish I could add more content to it, but since I already uploaded it to Steam, tagged as not safe for work, I can no longer add new content, just replace things here and there. That sucks. Well, maybe you can make a revamped version. I don't know. The definitive edition. Can't you make DLC as a not safe for work product? I doubt this guy could take the entire ship if Anon told them all. Yeah, he can't shoot all of us. My hands rest on the wheel, fingers loose, barely touching it. Waters are calm, smooth enough that the ship almost guides itself. I don't need to hold it steady, but I keep my grip anyway, if only to feel like I'm doing something, anything. The door shuts behind Neela. She crosses the room without a word and drops into the fixed chair, eyes fixed on the charts. Her tail slides along the floor, restless, but she doesn't look at me. The silence stretches thin, the steady thump of the paddles below fills the space between us, a rhythm I can't escape. I can't shake the knot in my gut, the memory of yesterday coiled tight inside me. The weight of gold bars in a crate. His voice telling me that he was kind enough to keep me alive hangs over me now, louder than the sea outside. I shift my stance, wheel unmoving under my hands. She hasn't said a word, neither have I, but I can feel her worry pressing into the room, sharp as a blade. Neela breaks the silence with a sigh, her voice low, almost careful. The flintlock we've got on board, it's useless. I tried to get the cocking mechanism moving, but it's rusted solid. Sea salt chewed it up. It won't fire. Well, we can bluff with it, buddy. Two heads are better than one. I bluff, you hit him in the head with a hammer. I feel my stomach lurch. That was supposed to be our last card to play. You can still play it. So that's it, then. Our only weapon is scrap metal now. I don't know what to do. She leans forward, elbows on her knees, voice shaking more than I ever heard. I've been in charge of this crew for years. I can handle storms, engines, arguments, but this? She shakes her head, tail twitching nervously. I don't feel capable of dealing with it. The wheel doesn't need my hands, but I keep them there, gripping tighter, wishing I could anchor myself to something that isn't falling apart. No matter what I try, it's like the primordial dragon himself is testing me, over and over again. Oh wait, that's Neela, shit. No matter what I try, it's like the primordial dragon himself is testing me, over and over again. Sorry, I went into autopilot mode for a moment. Her claws tap against the table, unsteady. Every time I think I've got control, something else slips out of reach. You've been holding this crew together since before I even stepped on board. If anyone can handle it, it's you. You don't understand. She finally looks at me, her eyes sharp but wet. If something happens to this ship, if anything happens to the crew, they'll never forgive me. My uncles will never forgive me. And worse, the Royal Navy, they'll crush me before I even have a chance to explain. Her words hang heavy in the wheelhouse. She turns away quickly, blinking too fast, trying to stop the tears before they form. Neela. Her voice comes out low, softer than I expected. You've kept us safe this long. That means something. It means everything. I'm supposed to be strong. I'm supposed to be the one who knows what to do. Her voice cracks, the facade slipping. and she presses her hand to her face. But I don't know what to do. Her shoulders tremble, and a sob breaks through before she can choke it back. The sound fills the wheelhouse, raw and real. You don't have to carry it alone, not anymore. She sobs again, quieter this time, and doesn't push me away as I leave the wheel for a moment to place a hand on her shoulder. Her voice falters, and then she reaches out, her hand finding mine where it rests on her shoulder. Mon amour, merci. I appreciate the affection, but love doesn't stop bullets. My chest tightens at the words. I feel her trembling beneath my hand, the weight of her honesty pressing heavier than anything else in the room. You're right, it doesn't, but it's all I've got to give you right now. Her eyelids briefly shut as if she were allowing herself to lean into the fleeting moment of solace before shoving it away once more. Could you bring me a tea? Her tone shifts, quieter, almost pleading. It takes me off guard. Tea, not coffee. She always drinks coffee. This must be really hard for her if she wants to drink something softer. I hesitate, staring at her, unsure if she really means it. She doesn't look at me, just keeps my hand pressed against her shoulder, waiting. I don't know what to do either. Everything feels wrong, off balance. I nod finally, squeezing her shoulder once before leaning down, planting a slow kiss against her forehead. I'll get it. I let go, though my hand lingers a moment longer than it should, then step towards the door. Anon knows his cabin. Just take it while he sleeps. Oh yeah, he was in the cabin. Now, where would he put that thing, man? The chef sits slouched on the stool near the counter. A book opens in his hands. Nothing left for him to do but read. After the menu got reduced to Navy biscuits, I feel he's just waiting for interaction in general now that he has nothing to do. Well, now, look who wandered in. Has he ever smiled like that before? My God. He doesn't even look up from the page. Uh-oh, there he is. Aren't you supposed to be up at the wheel? Middle of your shift, Anon. I freeze a step inside, hand instinctively rising to the back of my neck. My fingers dig into the skin, buying me a moment while my mind scrambles. Eyes flick to the counter, then back to him. But the words don't come. He finally lifts his gaze, one brow arched, waiting for an answer. Should I tell him what's happening? Oh boy. I feel like this is important. Oh boy. I'm gonna take a drink for this one. I got a feeling things will go to shit if I tell him. Because that's more people knowing. He's gonna try and meddle. And while he's meddling, well... the other guy's probably just gonna go for Neela. Because it's just bad karma or some shit that's gonna be happening. So we'll just play it on the down low, I guess. Neela, she wants a tea. Spoiler, nah. What? Tell him you have the literal Terminator on your side. The chef finally lifts his gaze, brow arching, his eyes widen in surprise, and he leans back slightly on the stool. Neela wants tea? He shakes his head slowly, muttering more to himself than to me. Not coffee? Tea? That's unusual. He studies me, concern creeping into his expression. Well, I guess we gotta tell him anyway. The illusion of choice. Is something wrong? I shake my head, forcing a small shrug. I don't want to tell him. Not yet. Not here. His eyes linger on mine for a long moment, searching, the worry cleared in the tight set of his jaw. Then he sighs, setting the book aside. All right, if that's what she wants. He turns and moves towards the shelves, rummaging for the tea leaves. His concern doesn't disappear, but he doesn't press me either. We'll make it strong enough for her to keep... We'll make it strong enough to keep her awake, but smooth enough for her to actually drink it. He glances back to me once over his shoulder, giving me a look that says he knows something's bothering her and me, but he'll wait. For now, tea comes first. I make my way back to the wheelhouse, the warm mug in my hands. Neil is at the helm, eyes focused on the calm waters, but as soon as I enter, her tail sweeps forward, hovering near my face like a living question mark. Here. I pass the mug carefully to her tail. She curls it around the handle with surprising dexterity and lifts it to her lips, sipping the tea. What else can I do for you? Stop worrying so much about me. Her eyes don't leave the horizon. There's a softness in her tone. You should worry more about yourself. That's why I'm concerned. The one I love, he's being threatened. Not me. Oh, only if you knew. There's calm waters outside, but inside my chest feels heavier than the helm itself. She's right. I'll try not to. She finally glances at me. A brief flicker of a smile brushing her lips, tail still wrapped around the mug, grounding herself in the moment. No CG. Lunchtime rolls around, the sun high but muted behind a thin layer of clouds. I'm sitting on the fixed chair, legs stretched under the wheelhouse table, watching Neela guide the ship that's with that easy precision she always carries. Oh, wait, I can... Oh, I can. The problem is updating the main content itself. Wait, guidelines. I can change text, for example. No, I was asking... Oh, was the spoiler now about, like, making DLC? Just pointing out, as you said, it was the illusion of free choice. It was just a few extra lines if you tell him. Okay. Gotcha. We're considerably less tense now. I'll go get some lunch. Neela glances over her shoulder, tail flicking lightly against the floor, and gives me a small nod. Don't take too long. The wheelhouse door creaks shut behind me, and the sound of the engine and wind fade behind the hull. I step into the main deck, corridors stretching out ahead. Empty, quiet, almost too quiet. Yeah, you know what's probably going to happen. Then I see him, the rich guy, striding towards me with that same unsettling calm. My stomach flips, my back goes cold, a creeping ice crawling along my spine. Every instinct screams at me to turn, run, hide, but I don't move. That eerie grin appears on his face as his eyes meet mine, the kind of grin that likens power and danger to a game of promises repercussions. My fingers clench into fists at my sides and my chest feels constricted. Fancy meeting you out here again. Meeting me here, sure. I literally saw him striding towards me. His hand slides under his coat, and my stomach drops before I even see it. He flashes it more deliberate this time, not hidden by like before. He's not just warning me anymore, he's threatening. I require your help again. I'm not asking. His voice cuts me off sharply, leaving no room for argument. The barrel, pressed through the coat, digs into my back with enough pressure to make me stumble slightly. I feel the shove that forces me forward, every step dictated by the subtle but unrelenting threat of cold steel. Corridors that seemed so ordinary moments ago now feel like a trap. Every step I take echoes against the walls, the sound swallowed by tension. My mind races. Neela, the wheelhouse, the calm waters, everything I'm supposed to protect, but the barrel keeps me moving. Move! Just that one word, and it crushes reason. I swallow hard, forcing my legs to obey, careful to not jerk or make a sudden move. The revolver pressed against me through the coat is all the warning I need to keep my composure. Even though my heart is hammering. The corridors blur as he shoves me forward, barrel pressing through his coat, guiding me like I'm nothing more than a puppet. Every step towards the cargo hold feels heavier than the last. My stomach twisting, heart hammering, I try to keep calm, try not to jerk, try not to breathe too loud. But Max! Uh-oh! Uh-oh. She's in on it too, isn't she? Fucking gremlin. When we reach the common area, the door of the cargo hold swings open and Max steps out, stretching slightly, clearly on her shift. Her eyes immediately catch mine, and she frowns, curious. Mate, who's your friend? I turn my head slightly, swallowing hard, voice tight but steady. It's just a passenger. He needs to check his items in the cargo. Max tilts her head, oblivious to the tension pressing down on me. Do you need help? I feel the barrel pressing harder against my back, the cold steel digging through the coat. Panic surges, my mind screams silently. Go, leave, please, just leave. I'm on a lunch break right now. I'll be back right away if you need any help. I nod stiffly, forcing a small smile, still feeling the pressure of the revolver against me. Every second she lingers makes my chest tighten further, and I silently pray that her lunch break lasts long enough for us to get through this without anyone noticing or getting hurt. The barrel presses against my back as he shoves me through the door, and we step into the cargo hold. Blast it, that girl is always around, he mutters under his breath, glaring towards the door where Max had just come from. His hand twitch, fingers brushing the coat where the revolver hides, frustration radiating off of him. This would have been easier if the other guy was here. My stomach drops as the pieces click together in my mind. Now it makes sense. The guy Max and I were replacing for this trip, the one who never boarded on time, the one who ignored updated charts, the one who didn't organize the cargo properly. That's who this plan was meant for. He wouldn't have cared, wouldn't have noticed if anything went missing. The rich guy was probably counting on that. Go on, open it. I swallow hard, hands trembling slightly, and approach the crate. The wood feels rough beneath my fingers as I pry it open, the hinges creaking like a warning. Lift the gold. I reach for the first bar, grasping it firmly, and feel the weight immediately. One bar, even if they're standard size, not massive, presses down with a surprising heaviness. Of course, well-fed people always surprise me. Too much muscle, that's the problem. He shakes his head, muttering under his breath, clearly annoyed but also impressed, maybe. I adjust my stance, gritting my teeth, and lift another bar. Heavy, yes, but manageable. And then a third. I realize quickly that anything beyond 3 would be pushing it. My arms burn slightly, strain crawling into my shoulders, but I can hold them steady. That's better. Can't say I like it, but I suppose I'll take what I can get. Muscle like yours, always a nuisance when you're trying to be sneaky. I glance at the remaining bars, stomach twisting, aware that I can't lift them all at once. Walk! The weight presses on my chest as I tighten my grasp on the first bar. Every step taken in the direction of the common area feels like a tightrope walk. Through his coat, the revolver quietly rubs against my back, keeping me in line and warning me to the fact that one mistake may change everything. Breathing heavily, I raise the bar and toss it in the direction of the rich guy's bed. It thuds heavily, and I take a hasty step back, being cautious not to approach too closely. There are still more bars in the crate behind me, and I know I can only handle a handful at a time without my arms failing. Not bad, kiddo. You keep at it. We'll repeat the process later tonight. For now... His tone drops, dangerous, but oddly casual, like he's merely issuing instructions for a daily chore. You must keep your mouth shut, understood? I nod, swallowing hard, voice caught somewhere in my chest. My throat feels dry, tight. I glance towards the bed again. No sign of her. Rich guy's wife. The thought tugs at my mind. Where is she? Shouldn't she be around? I push it aside. Now isn't the time to be questioning anything, not when the barrel presses through a coat against my back. Another bar, heavier than the last, are probably not considering they are all national treasure quality. I lift it carefully, shifting my weight and toss it towards the bed. Thunk. The rich guy watches, expression unreadable, eyes calculating. There's no acknowledgement of gratitude or approval, just the cold command of a man who knows he's in control. Thud, the last one. Good. Keep your focus. Don't drop a word to anyone. You slip up and, well, you'll see why you'll want to obey. I swallow, nodding again, feeling the tension settle like a stone in my chest. The gun against me, the weight of the gold, the thought of Neela, my life, it's all pressing down at once. Later tonight, we'll finish this properly. Until then... I feel the barrel of the gun leaving my back. Sigh. Got like 3 minutes left. I was going to end it at the 2-hour mark again. I got so much backlash this when I wrote it. Gold bars are not that heavy. Bro, different century. They were 13.4 kilograms each one back then. I wouldn't know. I pushed the wheelhouse door open, stepping inside with empty hands. Where's lunch? What happened? What took you so long? I encountered him. Her brow furrows and she doesn't need me to say more. She knows exactly who I mean. With a quick motion, she pulls the wheel lock down, fixing the rudder in place so the ship keeps its course. Then she steps closer, her expression softening from suspicion to concern. Do you need to take the day off? No, what I need right now is you. There's stillness between us for a moment. The sole sound is the continuous heartbeat-like thrum of the paddles below. Then Neela's scaled hand slides into mine, her grip warm and solid. Her speech falls into something quiet, personal, and intended just for me as her eyes meet mine without flinching. Speaking French. Even without the literal meaning, I can feel the weight of it, the depth. She isn't just calming me, she's anchoring me. Her words linger in the air like a spell. I squeeze her hand back, but she doesn't let go. She studies me for a moment before breaking the silence. So, what are we going to do about him? I don't know, that's why I need you. You always see things clearer than I do. Neela exhales through her nose, eyes flickering towards the ocean ahead. For once, she looks less like the fearless helmswoman and more like a girl weighing something heavy. I'm still thinking about it. I don't want this to escalate any further. You don't want to tell your uncles, do you? No, not yet. If I tell them, they'll act right away, and everything will spin out of control. Someone will end up hurt, and I don't want that. She grips my hand tighter, her tail twitching behind her. I don't want to play some sick game of chess where I have to sacrifice someone just to get rid of a problem. That's not who I am. That's not who I want us to be. Then what's the plan? The plan is to keep watching, to think, to find a way where nobody pays the price for his schemes. I need time, and I need you with me. She finally looks back at me, and the intensity in her eyes makes my chest ache. Can I kiss you? For a second, I think she was going to laugh at me, but instead she tilts her head, lips curving into that sly grin of hers. Speaking French. What? She snickers at my confusion, leaning forward anyway. Her lips brush mine in the quickest, lightest peck, more teasing than anything else. That's all you get. Kissing hours are after working. Her tail swishes smugly behind her, and she's already turning her gaze back to the ocean, as if nothing happened at all. I rub the back of my neck, still feeling the ghost of that peck on my lips. Tomorrow, we'll see what to do. She wants time. Maybe that's a smart move. If I push now, things will only crack faster. For now, I'll have to follow along. Thursday. This would probably be a great stopping point. Just a hard cut to the wheelhouse again. I thought we were doing something tonight with the rich guy. I guess he meant tomorrow night. Now we'll go to main menu. We'll wrap it up here. Because I might be playing Rocket League with Blaze soon, so who knows? Otherwise, I'll probably be back here again next week. Wednesday for sure this time. Hopefully the heater stuff has knocked itself out. So far it hasn't acted up yet. Like, I have like 3 different recordings of it thing just freaking out, and it's horrible. What should we do? The humble edge on the boat. Yeah, toss him overboard. You can't shoot your gun. Yeah, see how well you can shoot and reload your gun from the water, buddy. Yeah, I'm probably gonna hop off. Yeah, keep an eye out. If not, Saturday there's still the Deep Rock Galactic stream for the people who care about that. Otherwise, Monday is Little Star mod, so I'm looking forward to that too. Otherwise, there's next Wednesday. It was supposed to be that night, but I couldn't. But I didn't know how to connect some parts of the story. My editor wasn't available, so I just wrote more to keep it consistent instead. All right. Anon can probably tackle faster than guy drawing the gun. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna hop off. I'm going to enjoy my night. If I'm streaming tonight, I'm streaming tonight. But I don't know. It's a 50-50 shot. We'll see. I'll see you later then. How about that?